distinguishes taking a photo to be a visual record of a thing and taking a photo to be admired as a photo. He thinks that a good photographer can develop a recognizable style and make a photo of anything interesting. This is called the style argument, and William King puts it like this. Yes, the relationship between the way a photo looks and its subject is causal, but a good photographer can enter into that causal chain and tinker with it in order to affect the final product. So, photographs can be shaped by intention, and therefore they can represent, and therefore they can be objects of aesthetic appreciation. But we might need to be a little bit careful there, because Scruton could reply. He could say that we might well take aesthetic interest in a photograph that's stylish, but then we're not aesthetically interested in the photo. We're aesthetically interested in an object which has some abstract patterns or some appealing colours, and which happens to be a photo. We're still not interested in the photo in virtue of its being a photo. So photos just still aren't the sorts of things that can be aesthetically appreciated in themselves. So we need to go deeper and actually challenge Scruton's definition of a photo as merely a visual record of a thing. And Instagram filters might actually help us do this. Scruton thinks that when you look at a photo, you see its subject. When you look at this picture of me and Mike Rugnetta, you are seeing me and Mike Rugnetta, albeit indirectly. This is the transparency thesis, so called because it imagines photos as transparent layers through which you can see the subject. Just because you can see the subject through the photograph doesn't mean that all your aesthetic interest is in that subject. The photo is like a filter, through which you see the subject, but you also still see the filter laid on top and how it's made up. Dominic Lopez said, "Seeing through the surface does not block the surface itself."
Oh, hey, and speaking of surfaces.
Oh, hey Mike, we were just talking about you.
Yeah, I heard. Idea Channel is just a couple channels down the hallway. I was on my way back from NerdSync, and I heard my name. I heard you talking about surfaces. Do you mind if I...
By all means.
Okay, thanks. So you were talking about the transparency thesis, asking whether we're aesthetically interested in the subject matter of photos or aspects of the photo itself, which really makes me wonder how all of this applies to the internet in general, considering it a kind of surface laid additionally over whatever surface photos already come with. Largely, I think there's this idea that it's challenging, if not impossible, to have a genuine, classically meaningful aesthetic experience on the internet. That, like, you really have to be in a gallery or performance space or something. Which is to say, for a lot of people, it's easy to have the same opinion of aesthetic experience on the internet as Roger Scruton has of it with photography. What we're talking about on this week's Idea Channel is how and why that might be in relationship to these tags you may have seen on Instagram, Tumblr, Pinterest, where people tag things aesthetic or my aesthetic. I think those tags and all of these ideas probably all work together somehow. Okay, I've said my piece. I'll let you get back to it. I gotta head to the spam traps anyways. They're completely full. So I'll see you in a couple minutes.
Thanks, buddy. So, if Lopez and Mike are right, you can in fact take an aesthetic interest in the way something has been photographed, because there's something present in a photo not present in the subject, namely the filter that is the photo itself. I think a really good illustration of this is infrared photos of space. By using telescopes sensitive to infrared light, we can take pictures of celestial bodies that we couldn't see with our naked eyes. I think some of these photos are amazingly beautiful, but that aesthetic interest can't just be in the subject because we can't see the subject. It must be in the photo in virtue of its being a photo of a particular sort. So the style argument was kind of onto something when it said that we can alter the causal chain between subject and photograph. It was just a little unfocused. But what do you think? Are photos the kinds of things that can be aesthetically interesting, or is it just their subjects? Massive thank you to Mike and the whole PBS Idea Channel crew for being in this week's episode. I've wanted to collaborate with them since I started doing YouTube, so it's been an absolute dream come true. I have a cameo in their video on aesthetics this week, so if you want to check that out, go over to their channel. There's a link in the doobly-doo. And for more philosophical videos from me every Friday, please subscribe. Lastly, something else very exciting. I am working on something big right now. I'm going to be away in March, so I'm pre-recording a 4-part series to be released over the month of March, every Friday at the usual time. It's my most ambitious and wide-ranging project yet. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait to share it with you. If you want to support it, you can check out my Patreon page, and here's a little teaser trailer.
My name is Marx. My world is industry and class conflict.